everybody, I'm Maddire Memory Maker, and today I'm going to be going over the pros and the cons of Etsy in 2025. Now, if you saw my last YouTube video, you would know that I took my small business off of Etsy and started my own website. I was very fortunate that I have a very good husband that is good with all of that web development stuff. So my husband was kind enough to make me my own website. So if you have questions about which other platform or per se which web host you should go with for your small business, I can't really help you there. There are plenty of other people that talk about Shopify, Squarespace, all of the above. I personally don't have any experience with those. So yeah, but I can tell you after having a store on Etsy for 2 years exactly what my experience was like. So let's get into it. It is freezing. At the moment it is winter, so that is why I'm wearing a big hoodie. Actually, it's my own little merch that I printed off like a couple years ago now, which is really, really cool. I'd show you the back, but let's get to the video. Etsy pros and cons. I wanted to make this video because it wasn't fair to tell you guys all of the negative reasons as to why I left Etsy without also telling you just the pros of what the platform actually does bring to a small business and a seller. It is a great platform. It deserved a fair evaluation. So let's go to the first pro. Free to sign up. Etsy is free to sign up with, which is really, really awesome. There's no upfront fees or anything. You can go on there, set up an account, log in, open your store, and start selling pretty quickly, which is great for somebody who doesn't really know a lot about the technical side of running a business, but wants to be able to sell products online. Once you've added all your information into the sign up and your bank details and all of that stuff, everything like that has been verified, then it is really, really good and easy as an option for selling. Pro number 2. User-friendly shop setup and product editor. Now, I absolutely love Etsy's product editor. It's super duper easy to upload a new product. You can add photos, tags, description, a whole bunch of things, and they even do like categories and things like that, like what category of Etsy would you like your product to be in, which is really, really useful because it's such a large marketplace. So to narrow it down for your buyers is super duper handy. To set up your store as well, it's very seamless, very easy. You add your name, if it's available, you have your banner, a description, a bio. It's very simple, but it gets the job done. It is product orientated. So once your customers go onto your shop, they're going to be hit with all of your products first, which is a good thing if you are trying to sell, right? Pro number 3, it's a marketplace built for selling and buying handmade. I'm pretty sure that's why Etsy was created in the first place, giving handmade businesses and small businesses a online marketplace to sell their products to people that want to buy handmade or want to buy craft related goods or gifts that you just don't get at normal shops, right? If you are making a handmade product, or even say you're making your own brand, maybe you're doing some drop shipping, things like that, Etsy is the place to kind of do that. It is extremely popular, and that means there is lots of traffic and lots of sellers. Pro number 3 is taxes. Now, Etsy does have a big tick in my box when it comes to this, because taxes and small business finances are always a headache to get your head around, especially if you just want to focus on creating the goods, creating your handmade product, and not having to focus so much on all of that financial technical stuff. You will have to address it. Just because you want to have a business painting or making junk journals like me, for an example, that is my cat. She wants to come in and she's not allowed because she knocks over all of my tripods. Anyway, where was I? So you will have to focus on those financial things. It is going to make or break your business. You have to be technical. You have to be a little bit business savvy in order to make your small business last, right? You want longevity with anything that you're doing, ideally, right? You want it to be sustainable at least for a couple of years, right? It's a new journey, it's a new chapter for you, and Etsy happens to make it super duper easy because it takes care of all of those tax related things. In different countries, when you ship your products to them, there are different taxes and things that you're not even aware of because they're not a part of your country, but they are still something that has to be paid or dealt with, and Etsy is very, very good at divvying out what taxes need to be taken for what, where this and that is going. Honestly, that's the one thing I miss about Etsy, because when you have your own website, you don't have that instant knowledge or instant tax world taken care of. It is something that you desperately do have to figure out yourself and either see a tax accountant, I don't even know, or just do a whole lot of Googling, which I'm doing. Pro number 3 is automations, order confirmation, deadlines, and reminders. Etsy is really, really good for that. Whenever you make a listing or you sell a product, it tells you straight away. You get an email saying that, oh my goodness, you've just sold something. It gives you a really, really easy printout of everything that you need to put in. So a lot of people have their Etsy shop linked to, say, like some sort of label printer. Super duper seamless. It prints it out. I never had one. I just hand wrote everything onto my packages, but that's okay. It's still super duper easy. It gives you all the information that you need and tells you when you need to ship it out. When you start up your Etsy shop, you will go through and you will fill out your own policies. You will fill out your shipping times. When are you going to be shipping? Is it once a week? Is it every single day? You figure all that stuff out, and that is what you have to, I guess, stick to, right? Etsy will kind of be like, hey, you really need to get this order out today or tomorrow, or whatever the hell the setup happens to be. So your customers know exactly what they're getting before they buy their product. It will have it all there, and when they should expect to see their parcel processed, shipped, etc. It's really, really nice to have these reminders and these notifications. It's very exciting to see a notification from Etsy, especially in the form of a sale. So I really liked that. I thought it was really, really good. Which brings me to the next pro, is the review tab. So obviously whenever you sell a product, people can post a review. They can either send it to you via email or they can put it directly onto your store. Now this is kind of like a pro and con. It really depends on what reviews you're getting. If they're bad reviews, I mean, that's not going to be so good, and yes, it will hinder your store and your rankings, because Etsy does have a ranking. It's something that they call like a star seller, and it will tell you how many stars this particular seller has, which means how many good reviews, how many good sales, no issues, no dramas that seller has had, which just gives your customer some security, some certainty about who they are buying the product from. If you have good reviews, it's on there. People can see it really, really easily on every single product that you put up there. When they go to the description, they'll see your reviews as well. It's really, really good because it can be the thing that actually makes people click buy, knowing that they can trust what it is that they're getting. If you have your own website, you're definitely going to have some sort of review system on there as well, but Etsy does really push this for your customers, and then they can see very transparently what other people think of your products, which I think is a pro. You might, like I said, think of it as a con if you're doing shady things or if maybe you have some trolls and they really aren't happy with their products, maybe. But ultimately, I'm sure whatever you're going to be making is going to have some good reviews, or at least more good reviews than bad, right? The next one is the customer messaging system. Before somebody purchases one of your products, they can always message you, contact you very easy. It comes through to you as like an email, and then you have to log into your Etsy, and Etsy has its own chat. So you can go through, look at all of the people that are trying to contact you, ask you questions about your products. It's just a really nice little setup. I think it's very seamless, it's very easy, but there is something about it that I will tell you in the cons section that I am not a fan of at all, but I do think it is really, really nice. They don't have to email you or go find your details. They can just message you very, very quickly just by viewing your product even, which is a pro. That's what you want. That's good. Easy communication. So here are our Pros. Etsy does have a lot of pros, and this isn't everything. There's obviously going to be more that maybe other people have found or you've found as your own experience. Etsy is still a really good platform to sell as a handmade person. I'm not dissing it entirely. It does have its flaws like anything. I left Etsy because it was bothering me. The issues that I had with Etsy were really bothering me and just not sustainable for my small business. If it's not working for you, you've got to try something else, right? And if it is working for you, then continue. That means that you're on the right path. Now let's go to the cons. Saturated marketplace and high competition. So obviously, because so many people post on Etsy and have Etsy stores and so many people do purchase from Etsy, it makes it very, very popular. This is a good thing, you know. It means that, okay, cool, if I put my shop on this platform, there's a chance that I'm going to get views and seen a lot more than, say, if I had my own website, right? You don't have to necessarily do your own promotion or self-promotion, because that platform already has people constantly looking through it every single day. Does that mean they're going to get to your shop though? Probably not. Who knows, okay? I'm going to get to that one as well. But it is a lot of competition. If you have a product that's very similar to somebody else's, they can see, whoever's searching for your product, they can see all your competitors on their screen. And it makes it really, really difficult for you as a seller, because you have to be so aware of your competition, which, you know, it just means that you might not always get the sale even though you have a very good product. It might be price, it might be customization, it might be who knows what. It's very competitive, very saturated, and that to me is a con, because it makes it quite difficult for people to actually want to purchase from you specifically without knowing you. Con number 2, scammers. Now this is a part of the messaging system that I spoke on as a pro. It is good, but oh my gosh, the amount of people that message you and you're like so excited. You're like, oh my god, I just got a message from Etsy. Is it a sale? Is it someone asking me a question about my freaking products? I'm so excited. Let's get on there. You get on there and it's a bot and it's a scammer, and they just want to know if you've optimized your SEO or whether or not they can purchase your stuff as an NFT. Now don't get me wrong, this is something that happens on every single platform. It's not necessarily an Etsy con or an Etsy fault. They do the best they can to monitor it, and they do have a report system, but it's still a big problem, and Etsy is shocking for it. People use Etsy's name all the time, and unfortunately people are victim of clicking on links they shouldn't be, getting scammed on Etsy. It is very, very common, I would say, and it really needs a bit more refinement. I don't know how they could fix it any further than that, but it is frustrating as a seller to have constant bots in your inbox. Our next con is the fees. Now Etsy has a 6% fee that they take. I am pretty certain it's 6%. It might be a little higher now. I don't quite know. But they take 6% off of every sale you make, which means that you have to try and accommodate for that percentage on your sale price. And this is why it's a con for me, because although that 6% seems small, if you are someone who's selling a lot of products, especially expensive products, you are paying a ridiculous amount of fees in comparison to, say, Shopify or Squarespace or whatever the hell, your own website. That is usually, like, I think, I could be wrong, I think Shopify is like $60 a month or something. Trust me when I say that 6% per transaction is actually quite a lot, and it will add up. You will be paying way more than $60 a month in fees if you have an Etsy store. So that's why it's a con. If you aren't making many sales and things like that, you know, whatever. But when you do start making a lot of sales and a lot of revenue, you're going to notice just how much Etsy is making off of you selling. And as a handmade person, I can say right now, there's a good chance that you are not paying yourself correctly. You are using a lot of your time and a lot of resources that do not make it into the sale price of your product, because it just would blow it out of the water. You know, most people complain about handmade. They say, oh, it's too expensive, or why are you pricing it so high? But then again, at the same time, they will not go to work for free. And yet handmade people are kind of expected to work for free or work for this or whatever because they're having fun or whatever the hell. Just because it's handmade does not mean it's not hard. Just because it's handmade does not mean that you enjoy it at a business scale. Trust me, once you turn any hobby into a business or a revenue generating thing in your life, it does suck the joy out of it. I am not gonna lie. It makes it very, very difficult. It's a job. It is a job at the end of the day, and you are going to be burnt out regardless of what you do at some point. It's just whether or not you like it enough to continue with it. Now, they also have a listing fee, so every product you upload is a 20 cents. I think it's 20 cents. I think it's all in USD as well. I'm not sure exactly. I'm Australian, so I don't know, that would be like 40 cents a listing. I'm not sure if it is USD or if it is AUD. I'm pretty sure it's USD. But anyway, it doesn't matter. 20 cents is added to every listing that you make, and it's every month. So not only is Etsy getting 6% of your revenue, they are also getting 20 cents every single month per product. So if you have 50 products, you are going to have 50 times 20 cents to pay every single month. I do not know the maths because I'm not a math person. I'm an artist. I don't know. You can calculate that yourself, and it doesn't seem like very much. I think I had like 50 products in my store, and I was paying about like $15 to $20 a month, I think, to have those products up there. I'm pretty certain. And then, I mean, the math isn't mathing, but you can work that out. And then also there is the 6% on top of that. So Etsy does become quite expensive. The only thing that saves it is the fact that you do not have to pay up front like every other platform. It's not a monthly subscription, technically, when you start up. So that is how they get you. Yeah, so there's that one. Moving on to the next con, seller ranking. Now this is a pro and a con. I did speak about this a little bit before. You do get like a star seller. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but you can get like 5 stars. If you get 5-star reviews all the time, you're gonna be like a 5-star. And then you can somehow, I think there's like a purple star, I'm not quite sure what it's called. I think it's just called a star seller or something like that. And basically it tells people that you are a reputable seller, you are trustworthy, you are really, really good, and they should buy from you. People will hesitate to buy from shops that do not have a star ranking. So it's a pro and a con, you know? Like it can hinder you, especially if you haven't gotten sales. Say you're a really trustworthy person, you're really, really good, and you have really great products, but you haven't quite made enough sales to get that ranking up. Well, that can be a con for you. But if you have got all these great reviews and sales, then it's going to be a pro. It's going to tell people, hey, this is someone you should buy from. So that is why it's in my con, because we're thinking about starting out on Etsy, right? That's what you're watching this video for. You're thinking about joining Etsy and so forth. So yeah. The next con is SEO and new seller preference. This is what I have gripes with. And if you want to know more about that, watch my previous video on Etsy as to why I left, because I really think Etsy does this, and it would probably hinder a lot of people from joining Etsy if that was what they found to be the result or the outcome of their small business as well. So I'll leave that, go check out that other video. And if you are an Etsy seller, let me know what you think on that as well. Lack of traffic is our next con, and self-promotion. So yes, it's a saturated marketplace. Yes, it does generate its own traffic, but that traffic doesn't always mean that it's going to come to you and your shop. it's very competitive. There's a lot of people on there fighting for views, right? So to me, although it does have its own traffic, I found that it was a lack of traffic, and I had to do a whole lot of self-promotion in order to even get a couple of views, right? So if you're paying all these fees, the lack of traffic just doesn't really make sense, you know? You might as well have your own website that doesn't generate its own traffic and promote yourself the way you already have been. Even if you are really successful on Etsy though, you should still be self-promoting yourself. You want the most out of your small business, right? You want to be sustainable, and you want to have some sort of longevity for it as well. So you should be on other platforms regardless, promoting your products, okay? Definitely promote yourself. It is going to make such a difference. People want to know what you're selling, and they want to know more about you. Now, this is the last con, okay? There's obviously more cons. Like I said, there's more pros as well, but these are the main ones for me. This next one is the fact that Etsy is unprofessional. To have an Etsy store is considered unprofessional. And this is an interesting one. I really think, like, who cares? If you are selling and you are making revenue, don't let other people's opinions waver you. If you are dedicated to handmade, yes, of course, if you were someone who was doing like high-end products or high-end art, for an example, because I also do oil paintings, I never put my oil paintings on Etsy because yes, Etsy has some sort of stigma around it. You don't want to seem cheap because Etsy can be in the cheaper range. You can get cheap stuff on Etsy, but you are also getting really, really solid handmade expensive items on there as well. So oil paintings, however, and paintings in general, I just don't think that's for Etsy. I think you should have your own website, your own portfolio. But if you're starting out and you're a new artist and you don't really, you know, have a lot of prestige, I don't want to say prestige, but if you don't really have a lot of experience in the field, you're an emerging artist, I mean, sure, if you want to post on Etsy, like, who's going to stop you? You do you. You do what you think is best for you and your brand and your business. Don't worry about other people because they are not you and they're not making the money that you make or whatever. If somebody values your work, doesn't matter what platform it's on, if they know that you're a trusted seller, then that's all that really matters, right? So don't let that one get to you. I wanted to add that in there because a lot of people do say that it's unprofessional to have an Etsy shop. It depends on what you're selling. It really does, in my opinion. If you have high-end stuff, up to your own website. If you just want to get started and you don't want to have to worry about all that extra crap in the beginning, start an Etsy store and migrate like I did. You don't have to have your Etsy store forever, but it is something that is there and it's a tool that you can use. So everybody, there is our cons for Etsy 2025. Now my upcoming topics are going to be how to price your handmade products. I am really excited to make this video because I'm also going to share with you how I price my handmade products and my junk journals. So that's exciting because you'd be surprised how much money and how much resources go into actually making something like that from scratch. And it's also going to give you a good indicator as well to gauge how much you should charge for your small products, small business products and things like that. Another one as well that I'm thinking of starting is my small business journey. So I'm going to go through, maybe do some vlog style stuff, talking to the camera maybe. I don't even know. I would love to just share more of my small business journey as it grows with you guys, and hopefully you enjoy that as well. I thank you so much guys for being here, for watching me talk about Etsy. It's not a horrible platform. It's flawed like everything, and it is also super beneficial as well. So it really just depends on how you want to look at it. I don't want to deter you, but I do want to share with you my points and my opinions on it because I have been a seller for a while and known plenty of people that have had a store for a very long time as well that have these grievances also. If you'd like to see more of my junk journal creations or my oil paintings, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, give this video a like and comment. Let me know what you guys think. What is it that you're trying to sell? What is it that you are looking at doing? Are you looking at opening your own small business? I would love to know more about it, just for curiosity's sake, and hopefully I can give you guys as many tips and tricks as I possibly can in the process. So yeah, I just want to say a huge thank you. If you would like to support my content creation, head over to my Patreon. It's $1 a month. You can pay a little donation each month to help with that. If you would like to see more of my day-to-day stuff and random uploads and things like that, I have TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. I would really love to make a journaling community. Jesus, I can't even English. I really want to make my own like journaling community, which I think would be really, really exciting, and we could do like weekly prompts or monthly prompts or something as a group. I think that'd be really fun. I'm not sure yet how I'm going to work all that out, but that's something that I've definitely been thinking about. So I'm excited to, yeah, do that. I love you guys so much. Please have an amazing day. Mwah. Bye. See you in the next one.